Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. I have got such a couple of cracking recipes for you today. I cannot wait to get them cooked so we can have a taste. Now, we're going to kick off today with a really nice one pan dinner. Now, we're going to use the new, this is mint, isn't it, this colour? 4 litre masterclass cast aluminium pan. They're like the big old heavy Le Creuset pans, but then they don't have the weight because they're cast aluminium. This is my absolute favourite pan. I use it for pastas, rice, I use it for soups and sauces, pot roasting, you name it. It's such a great pan. So we're going to make a rice dish, and it's kind of like a paella. Now, Carlos, I'm sorry, but it is a little bit like a paella. He doesn't like it when we meddle with things and call them paella when they're not, does he? No. We've drawn inspiration from the Spanish dish of a paella, or paella, but we're going to play with some Indian spices. So we're going to cook some rice up. I've got USA wild rice here. I've been working on a project with those guys, so I've got some of their amazing rice. We're going to flavour it with some lime pickle. So it's not like too spicy, but it's got that kind of tangy Indian spice to it. Onions, chili, garlic, peppers, fresh mint, curry powder, nigella seeds. We've got some apricots, some raisins, and then we're going to cook some chicken thighs and some cauliflower. It's going to sit on the top, and they're going to go golden and crispy in the oven, and all soak up all the juices and the flavours while it's cooking. While that's in the oven, I'm going to show you a really quick, simple mango ice cream that just literally has 3 ingredients in: mango, yogurt and honey. That's it. And if you want to make it vegan or plant-based, you can use a coconut yogurt and you can use maple syrup. And likewise with this dish, if you want it to be a vegetarian, just do double up on the cauliflower, or if you don't like cauliflower and you eat chicken, double up on chicken. It's entirely up to you. But I just thought I'd share this recipe with you. I think it's going to be a cracker. Okay, so, right. Emily's here today. She's controlling all the cameras. Yep. Don't tell Carl, she's playing with the toys. But I bought them for them to share. So, right. Okay, so what I want to do is get this chicken coloured up first. So I'm going to pop a bowl there, Emily, is that alright? It's not in your way? No. And I'm going to preheat my pan. We're going to use this as a frying pan first. Okay, so keep a 20 centimetre cook's knife, go-to knife for me. So I bought chicken thighs this morning from Boots. Skin on, bone in. That's my preference. I like it that way because when I score it, I can score down to the bone. And that does 2 things. It gets the flavour into the centre and it speeds up the cooking process, okay? But if you want to use bone out, skin removed, that's absolutely fine. It will take less time to cook. Just remember that. Okay, so 3 cuts into each one. What do you think about this dish then?
Sounds good.
Yeah?
Really.
This would be right up Dad's street, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it might be.
Absolutely.
You'll have to make this one.
Yeah, no, I think
There's a certain level of expectation in your house each week, is there?
Yeah.
Right, what have you filmed? What have you made?
Well, we made, yeah.
And what are you doing at home this week?
I ended up cooking it, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's a good thing. So, put those on there. Let's get a little drizzle of olive oil on these, and that will just help get the skin crisping up. So we're going to render the skin first. I've got some garam masala here, which is like a curry powder, and then I've got some nigella seeds, which I absolutely love. I'm using them all the time at the moment. I'm just going to mix the 2 together, and then I'm going to grab a bit of salt as well and mix that in. And that's kind of our seasoning, all right? And you could, if you scan the QR code along the bottom, it'll take you to masterclass.co website, and I've got an amazing recipe there for like a dried curry spice mix. We've used it loads of times, haven't we, on lots of different recipes. I think the salmon biryani is where you'll find it, isn't it? Amazing dish. We absolutely love that dish. Find the recipe spice there if you want to. It's really good. But I'm going to use about half of it, okay? Get some flavour in there, and I'm going to use the rest in the rice. And then what I'm also going to do is get this lime pickle. Now, I'll be honest, not that I've been there recently, but the Indian, I always avoid the lime pickle. I don't, do you?
Yeah,
Like raita, love it. You know, mango chutney, love it. I usually leave the lime pickle, but it's going to really work. It's a bit too spicy and a bit too intense for a dip for me, but perfect for this. So, a couple of tablespoons in there, and then the messy bit, we get our hands in and really work the flavour into the chicken. All right, and this is where the effort is worth it. The return is there for you. Okay, so really work the lime, bits of lime in there, get all that flavour. I mean, the lime really comes out as well. I think it's probably, for me, a better cooking ingredient than a sort of a dip or a chutney or anything else like that, but you know, personal choice. So while I'm doing this, the pan is getting hot. And that's the beauty of these, you know, non-stick pans, is they get really, really nice and hot. And what I can do is just pop them in. Now remember, the oil is on the chicken, not in the pan, which is why I can just let that pan get nice and hot while I'm working away. Get everything ready. Pop the 4 chicken thighs in there. This is going to feed all 4 of us. So you don't need a lot of meat, because you've got all the cauliflower going in as well. So I'm just going to wash my hands. I feel like I'm dressed up today. I mean, I've got one of my new shirts on.
I know, I'm very
Very
impressed.
nice, eh? I've been wearing shorts and t-shirt or jeans for 2 years. I actually left the office this week, went to Birmingham, experienced the city.
Did you take your passport?
Did I take what?
Your passport?
Well, I like it. Don't go out much. A little bit of seasoning on that side, because we seasoned the other side. Alright, here's Pip. Hello. I'm not sure you should be eating that. Right, so we're going to let that brown off, okay? Now's the time we're going to concentrate on getting our veggies ready for the rice. So, white onion, cut in half, leave the core on, as I always tell you. Alright, and then just slice it one way.
You smell them spices in the pickle already.
Does smell good. I'm just going to put my extractor on the low. And then chop through there, nice and fine, okay? You don't want massive chunks of onion in this. We're going to spend a bit of time chopping, because we've got the time. And then that little piece there, we'll get rid of that. I really must check your chopping skills one day. You've watched me do this, filmed me do this.
I should be skilled as you, but I
Should. I'll let you into a little secret. On our next series, where the kids, we're going to do some kids cooking and baking, Emily is going to take over. We're going to swap roles one day, and I am going to film and edit, and Emily's going to jump in with the kids and cook. I'll be on the next series. Be a good one, that one. I am looking forward to that. Right, let's have a little look in here. We're cutting through here, everybody.
Yeah.
Are we alright?
Yeah.
Let's have a little look and see what's going on. See? Look at that. Lovely. Nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, that lime is incredible. I've never cooked with lime pickle before.
No, amazing.
Good. Right, let's put our onions to one side. If these can all cook at the same time. Now, I've got a couple of peppers. Did you know a pepper has more vitamin C in than an orange? Did you know that?
See? And I eat all pepper as a snack, so I'm ready for vitamin.
There you go. No scurvy for you. Yeah, more vitamin C than an orange. Right. So, I've just cut the quarters, all the sides off and the bottom off, and then we're just going to dice them. We're going to dice all the vegetables while the chicken is going. I'm actually going to turn that over again. Just keep that skin rendering nicely. I'm looking forward to this dish. Now, If you have any questions about today's recipes, please post them in the comments. It would be really easy for me. I can just sit there and answer any questions that you have. And also, please do me a favour. If you're watching, share this film with your friends and your family, because we would love to widen the audience, love to have more people watching and enjoying our food, whether it's live as we broadcast or whether it's on catch-up, doesn't matter. But it'd be lovely if we could just grow the channel more and more each week. So please do me a favour and share this video, okay? And also, if you have missed any episodes or you want to go back, you can do it on Facebook, but also my YouTube channel, Peter Sidwell. All our recipes go out there live as they go out on Facebook as well. So, you know, most TVs now, you can just watch YouTube just as easily and catch up there if you want to. So please check that out as well. Right, last few peppers. Pip's had enough. She's gone to a beanbag in the corner. She's not getting anything. Right. So you got any questions for me today, Emily?
No, I've been thinking of something.
Yeah?
I think it's back to the recipe.
I think I've covered it all, right? I'm going to whack some garlic in. A couple of cloves of garlic in just for depth of flavour. Alright? It's good for you. I don't care what Kerry says, it's good for you. Right. So, what I'm going to do is I am just going to whip this chicken out. It's not cooked yet, but what we've got is the colour, okay? Which is what I wanted to. And look in this pan, Emily. Can you see what's going on? Look how much flavour is in that pan. Yeah? We don't want to lose that flavour. We want to keep it. So the worst thing you could do is cook these in one pan and then do everything else in that when there's tons of flavour in there. Right? One pot dish. That's what we like, isn't it? So, in with our onions. In with our peppers and our garlic. Everything in. Right, give that a quick wipe down. Tidy as we go. Hear that, Emily?
Yeah.
Don't worry, Mrs. Gray, I shall teach you to tidy one. Keep on there.
Did you see your kitchen when you went here?
No. Everything. I went to Birmingham, came back, dishwasher on, sink clear, floor swept maybe? Not sure. Yeah. You found the Hoover. Hey. Right, the remaining onion seeds and curry powder. Now, I did have a red chilli here to put in. I'm not sure we need it. If you like really hot food, whack it in. I don't think we need it. Alright? Having smelt this, which is pretty spicy. So, in with the remaining lime pickles. So, we better write this down, Emily. We've got a 300 gram jar and we've used 150 grams of lime pickle. Because often this is how our recipes evolve. With an idea, and we'll cook it right now as you're watching it, and then we will note the recipe down because we'll duck and dive and we'll bob and weave, and as it goes along and it manifests into this recipe, which I think is a lovely way to cook. It's very real, it's very honest. It's how I work for Masterclass. I get an idea, I start to work with it, I create dishes using their amazing equipment. So, right. What are we doing next, Emily? Let's just cook these down a little bit for a couple of minutes. Smells good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm amazed how strong the lime is in it. I mean, with all the spices and everything, I thought it would be a lot spicier, but the lime is really coming through. Now, wild USA rice. I tend to work on a handful each per person, and then one for the pot. That's how I do my risottos, and that's how I do my rice. So, one for me, one for Emma, one for Poppy, one for Tom, and one for Emily.
Oh, thanks.
There we go.
You fed well.
My work daughter, you see. Keep her right. So we're just going to start to cook this down as we would a risotto or a paella or...
I could see just like even as much as the chicken smells nice, I could see the veggie one being just as good because
Will
of the
work
flavours.
equally as well. Absolutely equally as well. I was walking the dog this morning thinking about this recipe and I nearly hung a right on it and went Thai. Nearly. I was going to go Thai with it and I thought, oh yeah, that'd be quite nice. You know, cook it in coconut milk and all that sort of stuff. It'd be lovely. So you can go, you know, whichever direction you want with it. Right, got some chicken stock here. I'm going to add the chicken stock. Now, if you were doing a risotto, and it's a shorter grain rice with higher starch content, you would add this a little at a time, but we're not. We're going for the absorption method, okay? So you want twice as much liquid as rice, all right? And we're going to get this up to the boil, get everything in here, and then finish it in the oven. And I think it means you get soft, fluffy rice underneath and like crispy on the top. It'll be good. It will be good. So I've got a handful of raisins. I think that'll be nice. Little biryani-ish now. And I've got some apricots. Just going to nice dried apricots. So you get that little bit of sweetness. Just makes it more interesting, really. They're going to go in. So we've got some mint we're going to finish with. Now, let's pop our chicken in and then we'll deal with our cauliflower. We see this all right? Right. So, one in at 12 o'clock. One in at 6 o'clock. One in at 3 o'clock. This is to me, it might be the other way around for you, is it?
Yeah.
And one in at 9 o'clock. Do not let any of those flavours go in. Pop those in. Right. Now, cauliflower. Okay, so let's get a smaller knife. Now, you want the cauliflower to cook at the same time as the chicken, okay? So what I'm going to do is very simply cut it into chunks. Quite big chunks. In fact, this is a small cauliflower, so it's going into quarters because I want it to cook at the same time. And if you cook really small florets, it won't cook. Or sorry, no, it will. It'll overcook and it'll be soggy and it won't work. Whereas if I just drop that in there and that one in there, in between chicken, like so, it means the bottom will all be soft and lovely and delicious, and the top is going to be nice and crisp. Because what I'm going to do is just drizzle, like literally a drip of oil on top of the cauliflower, and a little sprinkle of salt, which will help the cauliflower go really, really nice and crispy. So we get a change of texture, okay? Emily's making hungry noises. Not yet. Okay, so let's just clear that. And what I'm doing is I'm just letting this come up to the boil before we place it in the oven, okay? So everything is ready to go. What's going to happen is the rice will absorb all the flavours, and the chicken will go crisp on the top but really moist underneath. It will be absolutely delicious, I promise. So I'm going to put it into my oven. So we use AEG ovens here, and I've set it on fan and top element. So I get like a dry heat at the top, but I get a fan oven as well. But if you were doing it in gas oven, put it in the top, okay? Because you want it hot at the top, you want it to come. And if it doesn't sort of brown off and go really lovely and gnarly, what I would do is grill it for 5 minutes at the end, and you'll just get that, once the rice is cooked, you'll get that same effect. But this is where it's kind of a bit paella-ish, where we want to bake it, we want everything to kind of set. So I'm going to pop this into the oven. You can see why we haven't asked Carlos to film this one, haven't you? Because he would get very upset if I even mentioned paella in the same cooking sequence. So, now, we're going to do dessert in a minute, but if you want the recipe, please scan the QR code along the bottom, or go to masterclass.co, find all the recipes there, and like the pans, the knives, all that kind of, all the gear that I use in my kitchen is available on cookserveandenjoy.com. So if you are interested in cooking equipment or you want to get some gear that you see me use, it's always available on Cook, Serve and Enjoy. And these new colour pans, these ones, these are new ones, new colours. They're the 5 litre pans. They've just come out now. So if you're after a new pan, have a look. They're really, really good. Right, my chicken is in the oven now. It is bubbling away, and that cauliflower is just starting to get that lovely crispy bit. The chicken is soaking up all the stock. It's going to be a good one today, I promise you. So, if you want the recipe, scan the QR code or go to masterclass.co and you'll find it there. But now it's time for dessert. So, I promised you a mango ice cream, did I not, Emily?
You did.
I did. Super simple. Super delicious. Now, I've got my Masterclass stainless steel storage containers, which I flipping love. Not only can you cook in them, microwave in them, do what, flipping anything with them. I've actually prepped up 3 mangoes and frozen them. All right, I went to buy frozen mango from the supermarket, couldn't get hold of it today, which to be honest is often the case in supermarkets at the moment. You can't always get what you want. So this is kind of semi-frozen. Okay, not like rock hard. So if you have got frozen mango and it's absolutely like this, take it out for 10 minutes. Okay, so in with my mango. I better do it that way, haven't I, so everyone can see. Okay, so 3 ripe mangoes. If you can't get hold of ripe mangoes, get tinned. They're really good. Yeah, because they're perfectly ripe when they process them.
Oh, yes.
Drain up the syrup away. So I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of Greek yogurt because that's just going to make it lovely and creamy. And then a squidge of honey.
I suppose it's a good idea for like a low-calorie ice cream. You're not having all the fats and...
You could put 0% yogurt in.
Yeah.
You don't have to put the honey in if you don't want to, but I find it gives it a nice little... just a little bit of something. You can put fresh ginger in here as well if you want to. Give it a bit of bite. Bit of lime juice. If you find the mangoes are too sweet, just on their own, that's partly why I've added the yogurt, just to kind of give that a little bit of acidity and creaminess to it. But yeah, you could add lime juice to it. You could add coconut cream to it, coconut yogurt, maple syrup. You know, you could add a bit of chili if you wanted to, because in Mexico they have this mango chili ice lollies with lime, and they're really, really nice. I'd like to try them one day. Yeah. And I think do a raspberry one as well. Right, all I'm going to do is make sure the power's on, and then press the button. And it's just going to blend down, and because it's frozen, we're going to get this sort of semi-frozen texture. It's really, really nice. Good for kids as well, because it's nearly all fruit in here. There's not a lot else. Almost there. You can do this with frozen bananas as well, and frozen strawberries works really well. And then that is it. Okay, so let's whip this out of the way. And then the storage container that I used. Here you go, Emily, have a taste of that, see what you think. I know you like a mango.
Yeah. Everybody keeps getting a piece of me each week. I think.
No.
Oh.
Nice, isn't it? So all it needs to do, which camera are we working to now, Emily?
3.
Number 3. Which one's number 3? Okay, so you can see it's just sort of semi-frozen. It's not solid. It needs like 20 minutes in the freezer just to get the temperature back down again so that you can scoop it. But if you're eating it straight away,
It's refreshing, it's not heavy like a...
It's clean, which I think when we're going to have what we're having today for main course. So just pop the storage container lid on. Now they come with these little tags here that let the air out when you're heating things up in the microwave, so it lets the steam out. But when you're freezing, make sure they're shut, then you don't get any freezer burn. Oh, Emily, you're going to like this one. The kitchen smells absolutely amazing, but look, everything has absorbed. So the rice has absorbed all the stock because we cooked it on the absorption method. The dried fruit's swollen up. The chicken has just absorbed that stock as well. And as I said, the cauliflower is just slightly scorched, so that you've got sort of gnarly bits and crispy bits. And I think that's why this dish is really, really nice. So we're going to finish it with some wedges of lemon. So I'm going to cut the lemon into 6. I'm a big fan of fresh lemon on things like this. Because I just think this is sort of intense and rich, and I think that bit of flavour and fresh, clean sort of acidity works so well. I mean, lemon juice, you know, is really good for you. It's another hit of vitamin C, so it can't be bad for you. And then I've got some fresh mint, which will add fragrance to this dish. You could add coriander if you preferred, or you don't have to add any. It really, you know, it's really up to you. But there you go. I'm just going to put a few little bits around there. And then our mango sorbet has sat in the freezer and is firmed up and ready to go. So there you go. That is our beautiful Indian spiced one pot chicken rice bake. Can be done with cauliflower or chicken or both. It's entirely up to you. Now, if you want the recipe, scan the QR code along the bottom or go to masterclass.co website. You'll find it there. We've also made our beautiful mango ice cream sorbet today. 3 mangoes, bit of yogurt, bit of honey in there, and that is it. It's absolutely delicious. It's the perfect counterbalance to this chicken dish. So, thank you very much for watching. This is part 6, the last episode in our first mini-series of the year. We've got another mini-series coming. In fact, we've got 6 over the year. So we'll be back in a few weeks' time. We're going to be doing baking and cooking with the kids, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Cannot wait. Now, if you want to have a chat in the meantime, make sure you post some comments in the comment section below, and we will be in touch soon. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.